What did she do that made her a great mom?
She showed by her action, and she was taking care of other patients, like people who are sick. And that's the time that I really wanted to become a nurse too.
All right, so Alice, where do you work and how long have you been here?
I work in CHIC in Alexia's Hospital, and it's been a year now.
A year? Officially, what day was a year?
23rd of July.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from South Korea, Seoul.
Seoul, okay.
So I moved to South Africa when I was 2. Then I went back to South Korea again when I was 10.
Okay.
Then I studied Korean curriculum or school thing from 10 to 17. Then I moved back to South Africa again when I was turning 17 years old.
Wow. What was that like moving from South Africa back to technically your home, but someplace you've never really lived?
It was kind of weird, and I remember that it was really hard for me to adjust in school and to make friends because everything was different for me. Like whenever I raised my hands to ask questions, they were like, why do you raise your hands to ask questions? But it's not like, it's totally different culture. They don't ask questions during the middle of the class.
So you were telling me earlier about your mom and some of the stuff that she did with you and your siblings. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
So my mom, she wanted to be a missionary, but she couldn't because they're missionary. I think they were sent from church. My mom, she was an individual, but really she wanted to help others. So every weekend she took us, my brother, my sister, and myself, to the orphanage every weekend. We had to play, as a kid, we had to play with them and just serve them what my mom made it. Then my mom, she was sitting at the corner of the room and she was taking care of other patients, like people who are sick. And that's the time that I really wanted to become a nurse too.
Wow. What about seeing her made you want to become a nurse?
Whenever I saw her eyes, she was like carrying patients really, really carefully. Like her eyes were so serious. And whenever she treated one patient by one patient, then they were like crying. Some of them they were crying, and some of them they were so grateful. And those actions, what my mom showed me, I was just wanted to be my mom.
Yeah.
Just helping others with that serious mind, not as a joke or not as making money or something. I just wanted to be careful, just wanted to helpful to others. That's why, that's why I became a nurse. Yeah.
What did she do that made her a great mom?
She showed by her action. If she wants us to read books, then she read books first. If she wants us to help somebody else, she did first. Yeah. Like she showed by the action. So. The role model was my mom. Like, let me just be like her as mom, as woman, as nurse.
Yeah. So you were really close to your mom?
Yeah. She passed away 10 years ago now.
Wow. I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's a really young age to lose your mom. So you went back to South Africa when you were 17.
Yeah.
And then at what age did you leave South Africa?
22. I think my age was 22.
22, wow. And you went back to Korea at that time?
Yeah.
And what were you setting out to do when you came back to Korea?
First time, it was like, I was not really settled down first because that's the time that I lost my mom. But afterwards, I reminded again, what she did, how she walked through her life. Then, okay, I decided myself to be a nurse, so I started. Then I chose nursing. I went to nursing school. Then afterwards, I just started to dream again. Like, okay, I said I want to be my mom. I want to be like my mom.
What was the hardest part about nursing school?
Studying, of course. That's the first thing. Yeah, I couldn't even get a high score, but because I have to survive, and I had my sister just near me. I had to let her finish her high school too. So I had to earn money. And I have to go to school. I have to take care of my siblings too. So studying, earning money, that was kind of hard for me.
So how long is nursing school in Korea?
4 years.
4 years. So you started at 22 and finished at 26?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I had nursing career for, I think, 3 years. Was it? 2.5 years.
Where did you start your nursing career?
The name of hospital is Bundangcha University Hospital.
And what unit were you working in?
Med-surg unit.
Med-surg unit.
Yeah.
What was your first job like?
It was really tough. I didn't even know how to prioritize things. I didn't really know how to deal with patients at all. But as time goes by, as my goal was so specific, I could make it.
What led you to go from Korea to pursuing something in the U.S.?
It's a diversity. In Korea, we only have Koreans. Like, of course, there are a lot of people who are from other countries, but it's not as much as U.S.
Why was diversity important to you?
Because all the human beings are different, and body structures seems like similar, but somehow it's a little bit different. That's what I figured out.
So you started your new job, your first job as a nurse. You're learning the ropes of being a nurse, which I think any nurse would say that's one of the most challenging parts of their career is just kind of figuring out how to be a nurse after school. What were some of the other challenges of that first job?
Being an emotional supporter. I had to care 12 to 15 patients when I was back in Korea. Then physically, somehow I could manage it. I could manage how to care in a physical way. But for the emotional way, I couldn't. I didn't really have time to listen to them. I didn't really have to support their emotional, sadness, depressions. The main thing that I really wanted to be is a missionary, which is like kind of supporting emotions and help them out of sadness, depressions. But I couldn't do that when I was back in Korea. That was my first job. Like, I had to think about my physical thing. I had to make them alive. That was really hard.
Yeah.
Doing something different from my goal was kind of hard for me.
Yeah, that's so hard. How did you deal with that?
After work, when I went back home, I studied more so that I can have enough knowledge to prioritize things. And then if I do have a lot of knowledge in my brain, maybe I can do physical things as fast as I can. Then at the rest of my time, I could deal with other emotional support. That's how I deal.
So you started seeking out an opportunity to come to the U.S. What did that journey look like in finding a company to bring you here?
It was hard because it's a new place and I don't have any family or friends in North Dakota. The Korean is only myself. But Shearwater Health agency was helping me a lot, so it was not that hard. First time I thought this journey is gonna be horrible for me. But as I have a goal, I had to get through it. But it was not really hard as I thought before because I had Shearwater Health.
Alice, you've been through some really, really, really hard things. Just moving to new continents and dealing with grief and helping take care of your younger sister, going through nursing school, all these big challenges. What is it that made you stay so positive and keep going when things got really hard? Maybe you wanted to quit.
I think it's my goal. Like, as long as I have goal to achieve, that made me to get through the whole thing. Even if I had grief, no matter what situation makes me down, I was just focusing on my goal to achieve it.
What about like the emotional piece? So you're probably able to help your patients more emotionally. What does that look like for you on a daily basis?
Whenever I go to work, whenever I see patients, I just want to make them laugh. And if they have some kind of fun phrases, I try to write it down on a note and memorize it when I go to the patient's room. If they look sad or if they look depressed, I use that word or phrases and just want to make them laugh at least once a day.
So you told us a little bit about wanting to be a missionary in Uganda. When do you see yourself maybe doing that?
I'm not sure, but maybe later, 10 years later?
10 years from now?
Or 15 years later? I'm not really sure.
What do you want to do between now and then to keep being prepared for that potential career shift?
I think I'm gonna be a student all the time. Like, even now, my next goal is getting a certification from OCN. OCN is kind of oncology certified nurse. So I'm gonna make a temporary goal every single day. So now I'm gonna achieve that OCN certification. Then afterwards, maybe I might look for another certification or so, and getting myself prepared as high qualified nurse, so that I can more, there's the range of caring is gonna be wider.
What is the most important thing to you about your job right now?
My attitude. The nurse should be more humble so that we can serve more patients, and just in a low position, just keep treating myself in a low position.
Do you think nursing is a calling?
I think so, because if you want to earn money, you better have another job. This is really hardest job ever.
What makes it so hard?
Because as I told you earlier, physically I have to care them in the best way. I don't want to take care of my patients in a low qualified thing. I don't want to care them without my knowledge. I want to serve them with a high qualified nursing, and at the same time I want to be a good emotional supporter. And doing those two at the same time, it's a hard thing.
It's a lot of burden to carry, being a nurse. You've carried some heavy burdens before in your life, so you're very strong.
Being a nurse, I have to satisfy by myself first, and I have to calm myself down first to be a nurse and to be more strong. But when I moved to North Dakota, Bismarck, when I found that there's no Korean, Shearwater Health helped me to settle down very easily. When I got up here, they were so friendly. They just made me, I don't know, I just want to put the word family, because they made me more comfortable here. And when Shearwater Health staff left, Shearwater Health nurses helped me to settle down again in a hospital, in a housing. So I didn't really have to spend more hard time to be alone. That's why, in a personal way, I was more calm, more settled down. That's why I think I could spend more energy to other patients. One day I got a message from Mia, and she was saying, "How are you doing?" Then I was like, "Did I do something wrong?" But she was like taking care of me, like, "How are you doing?" She just wanted to support my emotional, they were always there. You were always there to help me, being ready to help me.
Our goal is always that our nurses can move to a new country, which is a huge, hard thing to do, and they don't have to worry about anything except starting work and doing a really good job. So tell me about your Shearwater community that's here.
So I have 3 nurses in our unit, which is really good. Whenever I have questions or whenever I'm struggling with something, they come first and help me.
So if you could talk to yourself at 22, when you were just starting this career path, what advice would you give yourself?
Hang in there. Move on. Don't be afraid. Just look forward.
So where are we going to see Alice in 5 years? What are you going to be doing?
I think I'm going to be an inpatient nurse again. Everybody was saying, "Why do you still want to be inpatient nurse?" And then I said, that's the time, that's the nurse who can see more patients, even if it's the hardest thing. Then, yeah, I think I'm still going to be an oncology nurse again, but still oncology certified nurse. Within 5 years, that's my goal.
What advice would you give to a nurse who is thinking about making this move to come to the U.S.?
As long as you have Shearwater Health, you gotta make it. So don't be afraid to move on. Hang in there. Go ahead. Shearwater Health staff's gonna help you. That's what I want to say.
Wow. I'll slip you $5 after this for saying that.
Really?
I'm just kidding. That was so nice.
But it's not because you are here. I'm really feeling it. And to be honest with you, I'm really feeling that way. I think I really have good friends, families, staffs here. So I'm truly being honest with you.
What is the secret to thriving in America?
Confidence, I would say. Whatever you feel afraid, even if you feel afraid, fear, or everything's are new here, but to be successful, no matter what's gonna happen, just be confident and try to be ready to learn the new things. I think that's kind of secret for myself.
Yeah.
Being confident and be a learner.
Yeah,
Right?
but you're both. That's awesome.